I've always been fascinated by how the mind works, not just psychologically, but also biblically. I have always been drawn to how people think, why they think that way, and how some thoughts can actually shape in their character. And somewhere along the way, I noticed something very remarkable in the scripture. God seems to place an extraordinary emphasis on the mind. And that made me ask myself, why? Like, why does an all-knowing God actually care more about what people do not see in someone, care more about their thoughts? And then I realized something. Every visible life is first lived in invisibility. Every invention was first a thought. Every relationship was first an interaction. Every habit was first a choice. Every act of obedience, every act of disobedience was first a thought. Now think about it. If you didn't wake up one morning and just suddenly decide to go and eat the forbidden fruit, the serpent asked the question, did God really say? So you see now, before disobedience, there was doubt. Before sin, there was deception. Satan didn't begin by changing her actions. He first began by changing what she thought about God. And once her thinking changed, her action followed. Then there's Judas. Judas didn't betray Jesus just because of one bad afternoon. He didn't betray Jesus only because of that 30 pieces of silver. Even the Bible says the devil had already put it into the heart of Judas Iscariot to betray Jesus. So you could see that even the devil knew that this had to be in his heart, this had to be in his thoughts for that 30 pieces of silver to even move him. So you can see that it began with something taking roots within Judas. Then David. Many people think that David's fall or mistake started with Bathsheba, but I don't think so. It began long before that. David remained where he shouldn't have been. He looked into when he should have turned away. He lingered where he should have fled. And by the time his actions became visible, the battle had already taken place within him. Then I looked at Jesus and noticed something very different. When Satan came to tempt him, he wasn't trying to overpower him physically. The devil challenged his identity, the devil twisted the scripture, the devil appealed to his desires. In other words, he targeted his mind. But every single time, Jesus responded with the same word, it is written. Why? This is because truth is God's answer to deception. And deception always begins with the mind. Then suddenly, Romans chapter 12 verse 2 began to make more sense to me. Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind. Notice that Paul didn't say be transformed by trying harder. He doesn't say be transformed by becoming better. He says by the renewing of your mind. Because God knows something that we often forget. A changed life is the fruit of a changed mind. And this is why Proverbs says, above all else, guard your heart, because out of it flows the issues of life. Like every issues of life, everything, not some things, everything, your words, your decisions, your relationships, your character, your worship, even your obedience, they all flow from what you've allowed to dwell within you. And Paul gives us another key in Philippians chapter 4 verse 8. He tells us to deliberately think on what is true, honorable, just, pure, lovely, and commendable. God doesn't merely care about what captures your hands. He cares more about what captures your mind. Because whatever consistently shapes your thoughts eventually shapes your life. So maybe the right question isn't what kind of person am I becoming, but then what kind of thoughts am I allowing to dwell within me? And this is because every thought you're nurturing quietly shaping the person you're becoming. And perhaps that's why one of the greatest spiritual discipline isn't just guarding your actions, but guarding your mind and your heart.